Hey there and welcome back to my channel. My name is Karen and today I will be doing a 12-hour readathon. So basically I wanted to do another bookish video. I didn't know what I wanted to film, but I wanted to do something different, and I haven't done a 24-hour readathon, but I don't want to do a 24-hour readathon because I don't want to wake up at 2 in the morning, which is usually what you see, or people wake up at like 12 a.m. They read from 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. and I can't do that. So I decided that I will do a readathon from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. because that's a little bit more reasonable for me. It is currently 8 a.m. and I decided that between the hours of 10 and 10, I won't be using social media, but I will be reading. But since it is 8 a.m. and it's time to break fast, it is time to make breakfast. I did a lot of preparation last night. Before this readathon, and I decided I wanted to make cold brew. So I made this cold brew, but I've never done this before, so let's see how this goes. Nice. Despite the fact that I am horrible at making pancakes, I'm gonna make pancakes. Sister wants to be in this vlog as well, so you will be seeing her and she will be reading her books. But today I really wanted to hit all of my library books because they're going to be due real soon. So the first book is A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro, and I've actually already started reading this and I love it. I'm 48 pages in, and with like 12 hours on my hands I should be able to finish this. The next book that I want to hit is The Tubman Command by Elizabeth Cobbs, and I did talk about these books in my most recent bookish video that I posted last week. I don't know, I'm a really slow reader, but my third option is Parkland by Dave Cullen. I picked that up from the library, and let's let this sit. And if I need to like read a different book every now and then I will switch between the three probably. Okay, so there's been a slight change of plans. Instead of pancakes, I'm making waffles because for some reason I can't make pancakes not cooked all the way. Alright, so I've cleaned the kitchen, I ate breakfast, and I mean, I think I ate one too many waffles and like two too many eggs, but that's okay. I'm just gonna be sitting and reading. So the first book that I'm going to finish is A Study in Charlotte, and I really enjoy this book so far. But yeah, my plan is to read for an hour and then check in. I'll let you guys know how I'm feeling about the book and all that, and I'm just gonna get started and start reading. Okay, so my first hour of reading is up, and I am now, watch out, I am now 110 pages in, and I absolutely love this book. I love the relationship that Jamie and Charlotte have right now, and I honestly have no idea where this whole murder thing is happening. And I feel like in the beginning, the book started really fast with Watson and Holmes. Like their whole like relationship started really fast, and the story just went right on into the mystery, and I really like that. I like that there wasn't a really long intro to this book. But yeah, so my sister, whenever we go to the library, I browse the whole library is the book section, but I browse the kids section with her, and I'm like, I read this when I was your age, like I would love it if you read it because it's really good. And last time we were there, I tried to get her to read Cam Jensen. I don't know if you remember, but Cam Jensen is this fictional character that has photographic memory, and she solves mysteries. And so my sister, I told her to borrow this. I was like, just borrow one Cam Jensen book. It is so good. It's so easy to read. And so she did, and she finished this in 40 minutes, which is impressive. But yeah, I love the Cam Jensen series. I don't remember how many of them I read, but I just remember that she has this photographic memory and she helps solve mysteries. And this one has to do with the Secret Service. What are you reading now? Now she's reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Getaway. I didn't know there were so many. Oh my God, look how many Diary of a Wimpy Kid books there are. I didn't know there were so many of them. Anyway. I had a timer on my laptop over there because like I was like filming on my phone. I'm gonna be halfway done with this book within the next like 20-30 minutes. Okay, so I'm halfway through the book. What do I think of it? I think it's a great book. I've never read a book like this before, and like I said earlier, it went straight on into the whole like I'm being framed for this murder mystery story. And I mean, I can't tell who has done it, who's framing them for murder, because we don't know that many characters. I wouldn't be surprised if it's someone that we've already met, but also I kind of just want them to solve this murder. Okay, so the only background knowledge that I have of Sherlock Holmes and John Watson is anything I read from the internet and the BBC show Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch in it. As from what I know of Sherlock Holmes, Charlotte is very much a Sherlock Holmes descendant, and I really like her character, and I like Jamie Watson's character. We're at the 2.5 hour mark, so I'm gonna take a little break and I'm gonna clean my room. I'm not going to show you my room because it is a mess. Okay, so my room is now clean. I kept my sleeping t-shirt on and I just changed into shorts, but yeah, my room is now clean. Here's a sneak peek of a dorm haul that I'm going to do. All of these mugs included. So I'm going to go eat. Let me turn this oil diffuser off. I'll just unplug it. So there's this one little passage that is very Sherlock-esque, and I will read it. Holmes disagreed. "You're a liar," she said, perched on her lap table. Blah, 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 blah. "More specifically, I can read your thoughts as if they're printed in block letters on your forehead. Really, sometimes you think so loudly that I can hear you in the next room. There's no way you can approach your teammates in that innocent manner. You need to fix that." And that sounds a lot like Sherlock. And the only Sherlock I know, like I said, is from the BBC show Sherlock. And I feel like he said something like that on the show. Brittany Cavallero, you did a really good job at portraying these characters. Okay, so I finished a study in Charlotte, and it's about 3:30, and it is pouring rain out there. But my sister is now making, what are you making?
Lemonade.
She's making lemonade. Now I'm going to move on to the Tubman command after I help with her lemonade. Okay, so I gave up on reading for a bit because my parents called, they're out of town, and they FaceTimed us. But it is now time for me to cook dinner, and it is going to be the easiest pasta ever, but it is so good. It's literally just mushroom, spinach, Parmesan cheese, butter, and like whipping cream. I didn't realize we already bought sliced mushrooms, so we don't have to
cut it.
Yeah, we don't have to cut it, but you need to rinse these before we use them. Okay, so you always need more salt than you think. So how much butter you use, that's up to you, honestly. Like, same. I actually would prefer more butter, but we're just gonna add in our mushroom. All right, so let me just talk about like my final thoughts with A Study in Charlotte. I thought the book was well written. I really enjoyed the characters, and like you can really tell that Charlotte was a descendant of Holmes, and Jamie was a descendant of Watson. Like I think the author did really well at distinguishing the characters. And at one point, I thought what it would be like if the chapters were alternating in perspectives, but I'm glad that it was all from Jamie's perspective. Also, the book kind of read like, it read like a movie, either a movie or like a Netflix show. But I don't know. I think it was a well written book. I don't think I'm gonna read the sequel or the rest of the series. I mean, I've heard such great things about it, but it's not the type of book that I would pick up again. But it was really good. Still, it's just not my cup of tea. Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Okay, so now the mushroom. They look a lot smaller. I smashed a bunch of them up, and they're just like cooking a lot smaller. So I'm gonna let that cook a little more, and then add the whipping cream. I'm going to add the spinach, and I think I'm just gonna add this whole bag in because my family really likes spinach. I do that every time. Let me turn the heat down a bit. Okay, so far I'm only about like 10 pages into the Tubman Command, and it's pretty interesting. I'm pretty sure it's a historical fiction just the way it reads, or it's like a, you know, like if you've ever read an Eric Larson book. I've only ever read Deadweight and Devil in the White City, but basically how Eric Larson writes, all of it is nonfiction, but it reads like a novel, and that's kind of how the Tubman Command is. So I'm guessing it's historical fiction, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a nonfiction written like a novel with dialogue picked up from like diaries and such. But it takes place in Beaufort, South Carolina, and it's pretty interesting so far.
You just eyeball it.
I just eyeball it, and this is to help make it like creamy and thicker. I decided during dinner, instead of reading the Tubman Command, I'm going to read Parkland by Dave Cullen, and that is because I just got done with A Study in Charlotte, and the characters are very current. It like takes place in today's world, and I kind of want to read something continuing on that timeline. Even though this is a nonfiction, anyway. Tubman Command is going to be a little bit heavier to read after A Study in Charlotte, so I think I'm going to ease myself into that by reading Parkland. Okay, so I am about 4 chapters into Parkland, and there has not been a page where I didn't want to cry. Like, I literally have tears as I'm reading this book because I'm reading about firsthand accounts of one of my biggest fears. It is about 7:30, and I'm just going to keep reading because this is such a well-written book, and it hits too close to home. But I'm just going to keep reading. Whenever I talk to people about nonfiction books, they usually stray away from nonfiction because of how daunting the book may seem. This is a pretty thick book, and in total there's about like 380 something pages, but I'm telling you, like, the last 70 pages is literally just acknowledgments, notes, and stuff like that. And that's the case for a lot of nonfiction books. So really, this has 311 reading pages. And I know that a lot of people look at how many pages are in a book when they read it. Okay, so it is 8:40 now, and I know I was going to push this to 10 p.m., but I'm going to stop it. Mainly because this is the most I've ever read in one day, and reading this Parkland book is a little overwhelming for me right now, even though it is like something that I've been wanting to read, and it's everything that needs to be said in this book. It's really heavy though. But yeah, so I think it was a successful day for me, but mostly for my sister too, because she finished how many books? She finished 2 full books. But that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and please subscribe. That'll make me very happy. I have a new back to school video this Saturday, so keep an eye out for that. Bye everyone.
Bye.